Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Morning Comics. Today our order will be Kate, John's Comics with Kids, and then me, Charlie. I really hope our host, Caleb Smart.
Caleb is our host?
Yes, he did it funny.
He did a couple of funny videos. So thank you, Caleb, for making us laugh this morning. Running out and getting his fruit snacks.
He's right there.
He's got to have his fruit snacks for the show. So that's awesome. We had some great people jumping in early, checking in with us because we were running a little late. 4th of July, we were up really late. And then last night, the girls had a sort of outdoor movie night with some friends.
Yep, Lego Movie 2, and people started shooting fireworks.
So they were up late 2 nights in a row. So I figured a little extra sleep would be kind of a nice thing. You can see there's a little space cadet here. Sleepy Kate.
Hello.
Sleepy time, Kate. But let's shout out to folks. Sam's Tangled Web, moderator extraordinaire, first guy in the chat, followed by Robert Galvin, a guy who's been dropping some great videos on Instagram and on YouTube. So thank you for doing that, Robert. And I know he's in the midst of a huge reorganization of his collection. So good luck to you on that, sir. I'm going to be doing something similar this summer myself.
So Galvin followed by Kachung.
Yep.
Kachung followed by Caleb Comics Murphy Murph.
Smurf Murphy. And Sam again. And then Big Will.
Yeah, Big Will. And then JP Budget Collecting.
Yep. And then who else do we have here? Those are all the people that were here early before we even got started.
And Jester Regan.
Rod was in there.
Then Chris
Barrett and Burke both have the notification bell on. They were ready. D-Runk, I was just watching. D-Runk had a video. You should definitely jump over to his channel later and check out.
No Wilker.
And D-Runk got a book that he had reslabbed, a CBCS book he had sent to CGC to get reholstered. That's related to something I'm going to share here in a little bit. So thanks for coming by, George. And I said, Chris Barrett, the Slab Dragon is in the chat. He's been worried about us because we've been having a bunch of earthquakes here in California.
Yes, like last night we had one.
Yeah.
So last night we were at Charlie's friend's house,
Sophia.
And one of their daughters was like aftershock, and we thought she was joking because she had been joking like 2 seconds before about someone trying to get in her room. And he was a little Lego person, and I thought she was like pretending to be scared and saying aftershock because none of us knew what that meant. And then I went over because she was hiding, and she pointed at the chandelier, and it was shaking back and forth. And then I felt it move on the stairs, and we ran in the girls' room, and then the mom said, "Guys, get out of the house."
Yeah, you got to go.
And I was the
down
last
into
one
the safest spots,
It was scary.
But I thought the big kids were joking around till they said to look at the fan, and the fan was moving.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just my mom playing tricks on me.
No.
And then I saw Brooklyn or Kennedy, I think it was Kennedy, and she got all freaked out. She was like, it really is an aftershock, which is like something to do with an earthquake. So that made everyone else run out. And then the mom came up.
Yesterday was a 6.8, right?
Yesterday was a 7.1.
And today was a 7. No, yesterday was a 7.1.
And the day before was a 6.6 or something, 6.8. Yeah. So we've been getting a few earthquakes, but not to worry. Everyone is fine. No huge damage. We did have water in our pool come sloshing out, and it kind of went all across our patio.
Oh my gosh.
Because when the movement happens, the water does kind of this and then whoosh, up and over. So we had not a huge amount of water come out, but definitely I came home and there was water pooled up around the pool, like as if a big pool party had happened and we weren't here.
But Dad, our cousins, Penny and Jack, which were on one of our other Saturday morning comic shows, they didn't feel it because they were driving home.
And I didn't feel the other one 2 days ago
Me
because
neither.
I was driving as well.
And I don't know why we wouldn't feel it. Maybe I think we were eating breakfast at that time.
But you shouted out that Kennedy
Second
K,
breakfast.
your friend, is in the chat. Nice to see you.
We
Discovery
missed you
Bay.
last night.
Yeah, we did miss you, KK. Discovery Bay is in the chat. Let's see. Did I miss somebody?
Discovery Day?
I just said that. Highly a comic bro. Good to have you, sir. Thank you for coming by. Let's see. People talking about.
Hallelujah Comics.
See, the chat is hopping. I can't even keep track.
Hallelujah Comics.
I said Hialeah Comics.
Oh, dear.
Hialeah Comic Bro. Yeah. Let's
Jeffrey.
see. Pop is in there. We did sleep in a little bit this morning. Yes, Burke.
Jeffrey.
Burke has a contest going for his 300 subscribers. You should definitely check it out. It's dropping at 10 a.m. Pacific, I believe, but maybe I'm wrong.
Jeffrey Comics.
Jeffrey's in the chat. My brother Jeffrey. Thank you
He
for
said
coming
he
by.
felt it.
Jeffrey felt it. Yeah.
That one was crazy. Yesterday.
Jeffrey is here. He is alive. Good to see him always. I'm hoping maybe to do a live stream later with Jeffrey. We'll see if he's got time later today. James Gallegos is here. Thank you for coming by.
White Whale.
Alec is in the chat.
Wow.
He said it's 10 a.m. Pacific. So yes, perfect. I got the time right. Alec is here. Hello.
Daddy.
Great to see you too, Jeffrey. Great to see you. Yeah, so it was an exciting couple of days of earth-shaking time, but all safe here, all fine, except for losing a little pool water and getting a little startled. I think that was about it.
Startled was the right word. Also, when we went outside from the house, the water
In
from their pool
yeah.
had come over, and their thing that covers one of the holes that put the filter,
one of the filter drains.
it came off, and then Craig, the dad, put it back on, and then it fell back off, and then he put it back on. He had to stand on it so it wouldn't fall off.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of force to the water when it moves like that. Let's see here. Can't stay. He's still packing. Yeah, White Whale's packing. He's making his big move. Thank you for coming by. Thank you. Much appreciated. Oh, he said he wanted to say hi to his favorite YouTubers.
He's moving.
And me.
He's moving.
Did you get that joke?
I do, but he's moving.
Yeah, he's going to Florida. He's moving from Massachusetts to Florida.
Is that closer to us?
No, it's about the same. Maybe a little farther. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because Florida kind of pops out. He's still on that East Coast. Geography 101.
To go to Florida.
Yeah, but now if we ever go to Florida, we could see Rod, Caleb, Highly Comic Bro, Steve Whiting, White Whale. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's a whole Florida crew. I think Chad 90 Miles from Comics. There's a whole Florida contingent now. No, Tom's in Seattle with Ryan, and then Bueller's in Portland, and we got Chris is in New York. There's a whole crew everywhere. Everybody's everywhere. We're all spread out. My great grandma lives in Florida, says KK. Florida has some great people. I agree. There's some awesome community members in that area.
Is it the grandma that?
And they're all eating fruit snacks this morning. Hashtag Caleb.
Is it the grandma that she did for her heritage?
I don't know. Big girl voice though, right? Okay, so Kate's going to do our first book of the day. Saturday morning comics. Kate's got something she wants to share.
Yeah.
He has an extra bedroom and an air mattress, and we bring sleeping bags just about anywhere.
Yes.
Steve Whiting, yeah. I think I said Steve Whiting. Didn't I say Steve Whiting? I don't know if that's it. All right, so Kate, what's your first book you're going to share?
Today I have 2 comic books and a book.
And a regular novel. You got to talk a little bit.
Nightmare Before Christmas, Zero's Journey.
Yeah.
Number 3, and it's one of those manga books that you read them backwards.
Oh, so manga, anime kind of thing.
So it's really cool, and it's basically how Zero is missing, and they're all looking for him and stuff, and then Sally finds him in Christmas Land, and they have to go in there, and then it ends.
So these are characters from Nightmare Before Christmas, that great animated movie or a claymation movie.
And Zero's dog.
Zero is the dog. I always loved that he played fetch with Zero by pulling one of his own ribs off and throwing it.
Yeah.
And then Zero would bring it back to him and he'd put it back on. He didn't need to get a stick. Jack Skellington. Very creative.
Hashtag Grats.
Let's see here.
Burke had to go.
Yeah, a lot of people are running to things, going busy. If it's back east, it's almost noon. Back east, it's almost lunchtime.
Caleb said, I already ate breakfast. It's third snack time.
It's the third. Yeah, you're like a hobbit, Caleb. It's second breakfast, or dinner, or brunch. Sorry, brunch. The Tim Burton claymation movies are spectacular. I agree, Chris Barrett. Oh, it's my turn. This is the book that I was joking with D. Runk about. I can't remember if this came from Old Wolf or maybe Caleb, but this is issue 1 in a DC versus Marvel. This is the main title, and then there were all these secondary titles where characters would meet. And D. Runk was showing off a Spider-Man Batman by Mark Bagley, and I believe it's part of this same run, part of the same storyline. So this would be like the main title, and he did one of the tie-ins. So this is issue 1 of DC versus Marvel Showdown of the Century. And it's really just a setup piece to kind of see how characters are merging from one universe to another. So you get Joker saying hi to Spider-Man when he lands in Gotham, little things like that. You get to see Juggernaut rolling into Metropolis and having to fight Superman. Yeah, you can look at it when we're done. D. Runk says he loves this book.
It's like,
and I know D. Runk he collects a lot of the Marvel DC crossover storylines. I've only read a few of them.
Is this a series?
Yeah, there's a whole series of them.
Oh, I really want to read that. Is it on Marvel Unlimited, maybe?
I don't know. I would imagine that it's
DC
not, because it's
Marvel?
owned by both. You might have to just buy the issues. That's a really good question. But there's a lot of secondary stories where things cross over and connect. I do think Thor looks pretty ridiculous in this era.
can I hold it?
So I just wanted to highlight that is Thor, right? That guy right there. I don't know what that is. That guy's Thor. I don't.
Hey, Dad, can
He's a
you,
little kooky.
if you look at it, you guys can look at it.
Yeah.
Mylar
You
Sleep.
can kind of see who you think would attack each other. Like right here, it's there's a glare. Superman and Hulk. Those would probably go together because they're both doing the exact same thing, and you just go from there. Like I think Wonder Woman and Storm would be funny. Would be interesting.
Wolverine. Oh, Storm versus Wonder Woman.
Yes, that would be.
That would be an interesting showdown. These two awesome ladies. Kennedy, a friend of Charlie's, her dad got a cover page for the original script for the first episode of the X-Men animated series from when I was a kid. And it's signed by a lot of the creators and workers from that show. I don't want to sing the song. I'll get hit by the,
Sing it.
So great animated series. And her dad got the cover for the first script. A really cool deal. Really cool deal. Let's see. It's a cool limited series, says Sam. It's not on Marvel Unlimited, says D-Runk. Wah, wah, sad face. I'm going to be driving. I'll listen to the car, but I'll be radio silent for a while. Thanks, George, for coming by. Oblivion, nerd educating, Madukes. I don't know. Caleb's just running off. Let's see. My favorite matchup was the Lobo versus Wolverine. Yeah, those guys, cigars and beer, right? Those guys should get along well, you think?
And it's mine now.
That's funny. Mylar Sleeve dropping some comedy. Oblivion Bar. He is here in Los Angeles, I believe, right now, just north of me, enjoying the rumble and shake and enjoying some cool. I want to say he's at the Anime Expo, and then he's going to a couple little shows here in town. And I'm hoping to meet up with him next week.
Who?
Marvel Comic Head. Love me some Kenny, Comic Head 84. He's dealing with a little break from live streaming because YouTube is sensitive. So, hope to have Kenny back live streaming again soon here. Let's see. Charlie's turn. What's your first book you want to share? You're going DC, right? What is it? Oh, nerd educating his mom. Nice. So can I hold it up? This is DC Comics Presents issue 40, Superman and Metamorpho the Element Man. A good old 60s center. Yes, there you go. What do you like about this one, Charlie? Looks very serious. Charlie looks very serious. What do you like about this one?
Well, I like how it has a lot of, I don't know how you call it, like a lot of stories, like
Okay.
a lot of like mystery and stuff. Like there's the man called Metamorpho.
This guy, right?
Yep.
This guy, right there. I'm sorry.
And he used to be in like a grown adult, and he was gonna marry her,
The blonde girl.
Sapphire. But then her father didn't want them to marry.
Gotcha.
So he sent. I'm calling him. Here, I need to find out his name.
The villain?
No, his
Oh,
name is Java.
Java.
He's not good.
Java's usually very popular with a lot of people.
Rex.
Is Java a
Robert
he
Galvin says he loves that book.
So the dad sent Rex, and which is the girl, her fiance, and Kate and Java on a mission to get the orb of Ra. So they went, and Rex found it and took it. But then Java wanted it for himself. So he pushed Rex down and grabbed the orb and ran.
Ooh.
And when he pushed Rex, he made him go on a tray. And the tray made him go near a big heated rock. And that turned him into Element Man.
The Metamorpho.
Metamorpho.
Oh, gotcha. You just got the backstory from Metamorpho.
But he also,
what channel is going to give you that? What channel is going to have a kid explain the origin story from Metamorpho?
Yeah, keep going.
Yes, you may keep going.
And then Java also did it because he liked Sapphire, so he wanted to make sure Rex was no more.
Gotcha.
So then he could have her, but then he came back out not knowing what happened to him.
Perfect.
And then he keeps coming.
So you liked this one? This was a good one? Jerry Conway writing. He's a great writer. That's awesome. I don't know the pencilers. Irv Novick.
from Franklin or something?
But that's a pretty awesome crew there. So back to Kate. What's your second book, Catherine? Some people are shouting out Oblivion Bar as a great channel. I really recommend you go and check out their channel. They got some cool videos. They just did a breakdown. It's a crew, but mainly run by Kali, and his video on Freedom Force, I think they're called Freedom Fighters. Sorry, he just did I think it was yesterday or the day before. Really good. Sorry. This is one of Kate's favorite series, very underrated series for her. I'm going to take it out of the bag because it's super shiny. Can you hold the bag or take the bag? This is the Cyclops solo story by Greg Rucka. I doubt that White Whale is still in the chat, but if he is, he'll be super pumped because he loves this writer, Greg Rucka. This is the storyline where Cyclops basically goes off with his father and the Starjammers to be a space pirate. So it's all Cyclops in outer space. Right? A Greg Rucka story. We have a few of the issues. I don't think we have all of them. We got to kind of go through and figure out which ones you're missing. But I think you've read it on Marvel Unlimited. No, not yet.
I want to.
I collected all the ones we have.
Yeah, we've got a whole group, I want to say, but it's like a scattering. It's whatever I find for $1 here and there. Greg Rucka is Greg, says highly a comic bro. Cyclops is the worst X-Men, says JP Budget Collecting. Don't listen to him. He's a DC fan first and a Marvel fan second. Ignore him. Did she like it? Says, did you like the Superman book? Charlie did like it.
Right now.
She's rereading it right now. But Kate, what do you like about Cyclops, this storyline?
Well, I like the fighting parts. Like, I'll show you another cool one.
Sword fighting.
Mm-hmm. They're awesome.
There's a lot of sword fighting in these sort of space pirate stuff, you know, Starjammers and
My favorite part,
Corsair is his dad, right?
yeah, is like Corsair was just fighting this alien. And he's like, "Oh, time to sleep," and then he gets back up because Cyclops says, "Dad, I like this panel right here."
Here, you want me to hold it? You're kind of shaking it
Yeah.
around. What do you like about it?
Dad? Yep, that'd be me. He just looks exhausted, and he's still doing the job.
All the sword fighting. They got to fight these crazy aliens. I think it's an underrated storyline, and from what I've read of it, I've enjoyed it. And if you want, we can open the app and you can power through the other issues if they're all happening. Gambit is the best X-Man, and Rogue is the best X-Woman. Sugar.
What?
Caleb likes those two.
Who?
I'm more of a Storm Cyclops guy. I kind of dig the leaders. I always like the people who have to take on the burden of leadership. But maybe that's a teacher thing. Maybe.
You always Storm and Cyclops.
Wah, wah. Caleb is the best X-Woman. Oh, sorry. Caleb, the best X-Woman was Emma Frost, and Magneto's the best X-Men. Wow, Chris Barrett with a hard gray area selection there. I don't know if I could legitimately pick those two. I just feel like they are villains first and X-Men second.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be me. Deep cut, though. Deep cut, Chris. I appreciate
They're
them going. I'm a guy who goes out on a limb with my top 5 picks, so I appreciate you doing the same. Let's see. So I picked this up the other day because the cover made me laugh, and it has beautiful ladies. But Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica. I was like, I'm gonna read it. Like I had to read this. I had to know how do Red Sonja, Vampirella, and Betty and Veronica meet. So that the cover drew me in. The story was very silly, having to do with Vampirella and Red Sonja traveling to Riverdale through some mystical portal ability to stop a group that had come from their era that was sort of attacking Riverdale, but secretly, this cult. So they had to blend in, and Betty and Veronica helped these girls blend in. So Red Sonja joins the football team and like demolishes the team. Like she's like the best player on the team. And then Vampirella becomes a cheerleader. So she's on the side, and she's also organizing the, wait for it, school blood drive. I did laugh. I will tell you, I did laugh. It did make me laugh. I found it very funny.
Can I read it?
It wasn't like anything amazing or grand, but having read a little Betty and Veronica and a little Red Sonja and Vampirella, it did make me laugh.
Can I read it?
Yeah, you could check it. I mean, it's not inappropriate or anything. It's just odd and funny and different. Not like anything else I'm reading.
I know who Vampirella is, but who's Red Sonja?
See, every other X-Men ever, Cyclops, and I am overrating Cyclops. There's some great comedy going on in the chat. Discussions of who is the best X-Men. Very, very funny. Yes, I did like it. I would definitely give it a thumbs up. And I'm definitely curious to see if I find a good deal on the second issue. I might pick it up. Caleb, I agree with Beast. Beast is a great X-Men. But again, I like the guys in the leadership roles. And I think Beast sometimes lands in that role, you know? All right, Charlie, what's your second book? She's now hiding. You got to share a second book. She's going DC heavy. Oh.
Is Red Sonja the devil?
No, she's a vampire.
No, Red Sonja.
Oh, Red Sonja. No, she's a warrior. They call her the she-devil with a sword. She's like Conan, but the girl version. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
You don't know who Conan is, do you?
No.
She doesn't know who Conan is. So I made a mistake there. She's like Aragorn with a sword. Like a woman Aragorn. Will that work? Is that better? She knows Lord of the Rings.
Are they sisters?
No.
Okay.
They're from two different comics, and they've kind of been united to this story and then combined into this story. Wolverine is basically an Alpha Flight, Sam. That's a fair point. I can see that. Okay. Charlie wants to talk about this one, although she's gotten back to her Superman comic. She's really into that Superman comic. $1 at my LCS. That was a good deal. What about this, though, Charlie? Who gave us this? I believe he's in the chat, right?
What?
Who gave you this?
It was JP.
JP gave you this Exiles #1 with the with the little tiny Wolverine, the anime Wolverine.
I like the Wolverine.
You like this little Wolverine? Yeah, people can see him a little better. There he is. What do you like about this book, Char? Here, we'll swap you books.
Well, if you look at this one, that has something to do with Miss Marvel.
Yep.
That has something to do with Thor.
Yeah, it's Valkyrie.
The Cult of Chaos.
This
is
one
what
has
it's
something
called.
to do with Iron Man.
Because it's Iron Man, yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not. Is it Riri? You don't know who it is? Is it a girl Iron Man or a boy Iron Man?
It's a boy.
Oh, then it's not Riri. And then who's this one? That's
Hmm,
Viv.
and
Isn't that Viv Vision?
Yeah, it's
That's a Viv Vision. Yeah. And then anime Wolverine.
Yeah.
What do you think? That's a life-size drawing of Wolverine, says Chris Barrett. Burn!
what is that?
Morpho is on the Exiles. And Morpho is? I don't know about that. So what do you like about this one, Charlie?
I like how it has a lot to do with time travel
Uh-huh.
and teleporting places. And I like how she goes to different places and collects all these people.
Who's she? Viv?
Viv.
Viv Vision. She collects this group.
Mhm.
Nice. Viv Vision is an awesome character. I love the Vision miniseries, and I think she's a really cool character. I hope that she makes it into some
By the way,
popularity at some point.
Dad,
Beyond,
by the
you know,
way,
Alec and I.
this is a boy.
That's a boy?
Yeah.
That's not Ms. Marvel?
No,
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. She's just
Gentle.
Charlie. She's just older.
no, look. Whoa, wait a minute. I know you. You're Miss Marvel. I don't know who you are, but if you call me that again, I'll definitely kill you. Now, what are you doing here? What do you want?
That is her.
That's her.
She's just older.
She's just older. Yeah, it is her. Interesting questions.
To the page. Go back to the page.
Okay, I'm going back to the page.
And the book.
Because you can even see like the what she used to look like behind her.
But Dad, no boobs.
Oh, goodness. I know that most comic book females look like Barbie dolls, but they're not all that way. That's not how all people have to look. It's definitely Kamala. An older Kamala Khan. It's Kamala Khan, just an older version. Yes, boom.
He's old.
Wolverine is a great character, but he's used way too much. I agree, and they make him the like focus of the comic a lot, and I think that's a flaw that Fire Guy Ryan and I talked about a lot, because the X-Men work better when it's a focus on a team, not on Wolverine. He's an important piece, but not the most important piece. All right, Kate, I'm going to hold on to this because you are going to now share your second book. Is this mine? Yeah. Or your third book, sorry. What is that one? You got to talk.
It's called Lucky Luna by Diana Lopez. It's a chapter book, and she lives in Texas, but it's like Crystal Cove or something. It's but they still speak like Spanish there.
Okay.
So they speak Spanish there, and then so should I read the back? Or?
Well, you're giving us your own synopsis. You don't need to read the back.
So this girl, when her mother found out she was going to have a baby, all her sisters warned her not to look at the moon because it's some sort of myth in Mexico or something. I'm not sure. But so of course she looked at the moon. And the myth is if you look at the moon when you're pregnant, your daughter or son is going to have a birthmark that covers half the face. So she prayed to the bunny and the moon.
Oh.
And so her daughter was born with a white streak of hair instead of a birthmark that covers the face. So that's why she always wears hats.
Like Rogue. And this new Kamala Khan.
Yeah. So she always wears hats.
I'm connecting stuff.
My share.
I was just saying goodbye to Pop Pop. He's heading out. Sounds like Pop Pop's off to do something today. Making stuff happen, making moves.
Oh. So, by John Dad.
Aunt May is a real live OG. That white streak is amazing. I agree. So have you finished Lucky Luna?
Yes. It's about this. So I already explained some of it.
Mhm.
So when she got older, she has more cousins than she can count. Every time she gets in trouble, one of her primas is like, she calls them primas because she speaks some Spanish, but she's not amazing at Spanish. So one of her least favorite cousin, Claudia, is transferring to her school. She has no idea, so she locks her in a bathroom at her quinceañera because she was making fun of her, and she doesn't know it's her, and then she gets in trouble, and she's not allowed to wear hats for a month at school, so everyone will see her white streak, and she doesn't like that. So then they kind of work it out towards the end, and then they separate again.
Nice. Aunt May has to be at least 110 by now. We're not aging people based on that. Oh, hey, that's
Can I
my.
have
Oh,
the
you
book?
want? Sorry, you want?
No, yeah.
Yeah. They just want to read. My girls just like to wake up and read.
I thought this was her shirt. This is just.
That's her outfit. That's Vampirella's outfit. If you want to call what Vampirella wears an outfit,
She wears 2 straps.
she basically does wear 2 straps and a collar.
Okay.
Kate learning the truth about Vampirella on Saturday Morning Comics. Good morning, Fuchsia. Good morning. Good to see you here. All right. Last book for me is the best book of the week. It's Old Man Quill, issue 7. Guys, this is so just unbelievably good and absolutely stellar. It's quickly becoming at least as good as Old Man Hawkeye and Old Man Logan. It might be better. It's hard to tell. This issue 7 was incredible. You get to see the Guardians who've been rummaging around in this Old Man Logan universe. They're looking for the ultimate. That was it. The nullifier, the Fantastic Four's tool for destroying things, and it's like buried in the rubble of the Baxter Building, which people should know from the Old Man Logan story is laying on top of Hank Pym as Giant Man and his skeleton. So it's in the middle of this like barren wasteland. On top of the skeleton is the Baxter Building, and they've got to go down inside of it to discover or find the nullifier. That's her normal outfit, yeah. You get to see Kate's reaction to Vampirella. Oh my god. That might be a whole show in itself. Kate looks at pictures of Vampirella and does this face. So the Guardians have to go in and get it, but now some other creatures are living in the Baxter Building. Very exciting. Plus Guardian, the guy from outer space with the crazy purple mohawk, he's there with his crew, and there's lots of excitement going on, lots of good fight sequences. But I really dig the way they use this alternate universe. You get to really look at what happened. And there's some great twists and some really cool fight sequences. And the use of a helicopter is mind-blowingly cool. They use the Fantastic Four's like chopper. They have a Fantastic Four helicopter that's like partially damaged. And in a perfect like Rocket Raccoon style, Peter Quill uses it. Really cool. What?
Next issue.
Yep.
Can you buy the next one, please?
I'm going to look for it. I'll keep an eye out for it. Yep.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Daddy, did you know that Airwave is the dad of Hal Jordan?
Airwave is the dad of Hal Jordan?
It makes no sense, that story at
Yes.
all.
His costume disappears. He goes downstairs and finds his wife holding her baby Hal.
Grandmaster asks, is Vampirella under 16? No. In fact, they joke about it in that comic. How do we make you girls look like you're in high school? You ladies, sorry, you women. Very clearly. And then I think
Veronica says they're from Europe. Everyone in Europe looks more mature.
so they make little jokes about it. No, they've never read any of the Dark Crystal comic books, which are like based on a Jim Henson film.
Henson?
Yeah, like Jim Henson, from the Muppets. And no, they've never seen the movie and they've never read the comics. Let's see. So yeah, again, if you haven't read Old Man Quill, and I'm surprised somebody like Caleb the Comic Smurf who loves Rocket, there's some really great twists. And my guess is most LCSs are going to have all of the issues because there's no shocking keys or any of this kind of stuff. It's just a really good story. I can't sing the praises of Old Man Hawkeye and Old Man Quill enough. And Quill in particular getting really good. Issue 7, lights out good. Great twists. All right, last book. I'm going to look, John, says Caleb. Okay, cool. All right. Charlie, what's your last book?
Charlie, we're all waiting for you.
So, my next book is Aquaman.
Issue number 26. And I believe this came from JP as well.
No, Delphia.
Delphia sent this one? Okay, sorry. I can't remember. Old Man Hawkeye was a great read. Thank you, Chris Barrett. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So what do you like about this one, Charlie?
I like it was like a new character I've never seen. She can't talk.
Okay.
She doesn't talk.
Her name's Dolphin.
Dolphin. This girl right here.
And she has a really cool power.
What is her power?
You have to turn her in a few pages.
I have to turn a few pages.
Turn the next page first.
Ooh, she lights up. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
She creates this white light right here in the middle panel. This panel. She's kind of lighting up here, her hair and her hands. That's cool. Ooh, and Mira. You gotta love a good Mira splash page. Look at Mira looking all badass.
Hey.
This is Saturday morning, dude.
All tough. Sorry. John lost her. Yeah, I did lose her a little bit. Reintroduction on Dolphin after the Rebirth storyline. Okay, JP's got it. Boom. Was that one that you sent, JP? That she can't remember if that's a JP or a Delphia. Sounds like JP knows all about it, which makes me think it might be a JP. You're saying? You're certain? Okay.
Delphia. Sorry.
Let's see here. Language, yeah. I just got languaged on my own channel. JP did send it. Boom. This is a JP read along. Are they interested, or would they be interested in it? Have they seen the movie? They haven't seen that movie yet, Robert.
Aquaman?
No.
You've seen Aquaman.
Dark Crystal. He's talking about the story Dark Crystal.
Oh.
We haven't seen that film yet. I don't know if they'd be interested in it. They might be. We haven't tried it out yet. It's an untested water.
What's it called?
Oh, and Charlie's going to go on to reading that one. Okay, so I wanted to mention a couple of things before we go offline. Big Will, my real good friend here on YouTube and Instagram, is doing an auction tomorrow evening. And he's going to be basically getting rid of almost two full short boxes worth of comics. He's going to try to do it fast. He's going to do this super cheap. So it's like $20 and he's going to pull out 4 comics. So that's it's cover price, but the books are worth way more than cover price. He's also got some slabs he's going to auction off in a traditional style. It's going to be a wild and crazy time where you can get some crazy books like a first appearance of Mephisto for $20 as part of one of those. Mephisto, isn't that his name? Yeah, Mephisto, the devil character.
With the bubble head?
No, that's Mysterio. Very similar names, but not the right one. So Big Will's got some huge books in his short boxes, and you just sort of tell him which books you want. Once you've paid, he'll pull your books out and then show you what you've won. And he'll go through and he's going to sell all of his books. I guarantee you that Wolverine #1 will be in there several times. And I know the slabs he's got are some really killer books. So he's a real good friend, and he's really trying to clear out his collection. So he doesn't have a huge collection that he keeps personally for himself. So you know that if he's selling the stuff for himself, that they're going to be books that he cares a lot about. So he's right there in the chat. He just said hello. Just subscribe to his channel for the opportunity on Sunday to really get in on something special. He's going to drop the time, but I believe it is 1 o'clock my time, which would be 4 o'clock East Coast time. And if I'm wrong, he'll let me know. 14 slabs, he's saying. He's going to be doing basically what most people try to spread over 3 auctions. He's going to try to do it in one huge auction on Sunday. You just got to be there for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be on with him. I'm going to be helping him out, keeping tallies and track of things for him. And you can hit me on Instagram if you got questions, or obviously you can hit Will up on Instagram too. If you got questions. He's got a lot of big books he's going to be moving. Absolutely, JP's right. So definitely worth being there in his chat for that, because you might just get something amazing. And again, it's I think he said you'll have different prices. If you want to put $5 and just get one book, maybe you get that Silver Surfer 3, that first Mephisto. Maybe you get a Wolverine #1, which is like a $20, $30 book, and you get one of them for $5. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a legendary auction without the great legend. But you get Big Will, who will have arrived in big fashion. So yeah, it's exciting. He'll go through and show off a few of the books and mention some. He's even got an auction preview you can watch on his channel. So he's just a really great guy, and absolutely one of the biggest hearts in the whole comic community. Worth your time to be subscribed to his channel. But then also there's the benefit of a cool auction tomorrow. We are hopefully going to meet up with Oblivion Bar next week and hang out with them and get a fun video shoot with them and Tank Collect. So hopefully you'll see us on a couple other channels next week. I'm sorry that I missed Comic Core Unlimited, but we'll be back for that next week. And then book club. Hopefully, if Alec is unable to be a part of the big move, then we will do something slightly different on Wednesday. So stay tuned, but I will definitely do something Wednesday night, depending on Alec's situation. If he's in the midst of moving and he's just exhausted, I don't want to force anything where he's just going to be beat.
How many states away is Massachusetts and Florida?
It's a very good question. Massachusetts is almost as far north as you can go, and Florida is the furthest south on the East Coast.
That is a big move.
So it's a good amount of distance, but it's mostly north to like northwest, I think, northeast. There's 2 Captain Marvels, sweetie, and the Great Legend would happily tell you that this is the original and the only Captain Marvel, and that the other one is Marvel. This is Shazam. Yeah, we call him Shazam now, but his original name was Captain Marvel. This is the one that your Pop loved as a kid growing up. He had all Billy Batson and the Captain Marvel family. It was like a husband, wife, and their 2 kids. Yeah, the Marvel family.
One of the books.
One of my really favorite Silver Surfer. Yes, Robert Galvin, I got that Silver Surfer 3 from The Boy Who Had 7. So I love that book, but mostly I just love Mephisto. I always enjoyed the way he would pop up in a lot of different storylines. That villain is one of my favorites. I really hope he makes his way into a Doctor Strange movie #2, because I think he's just a great, not necessarily front-line villain, but like the puppet master behind the scenes who's manipulating characters. I think he's just a really cool character that meshes well with what they're doing with Doctor Strange. So I hope they work him in.
I'm sorry, who?
Mephisto. He's basically the devil of the Marvel Universe. He looks like the devil if you were to look at him. Red skin, horns, red suit, and he's in the underworld. And he's always trying to trick people.
Can he teleport?
I don't know. He's kind of like a god, so I would imagine that he could.
Like you were describing him almost as the guy from First Class.
Chris Barrett says it's about 9 or 10 states down. Chris Barrett dropping knowledge. Chris Sherrick, nice to see you. And the immortal Biggie Shack, who's been dropping videos and live streams like crazy. standing up and representing for our brother Comic Head 84, hashtag free Kenny. They just killed Kenny.
What?
I'm just kidding. It's from a show called South Park.
Dad.
Is their favorite? Massachusetts, Florida is about 10 states. Yeah. What are you doing?
Dad.
Are you gonna try to do hashtag free Kenny or? What are you doing? Kate's typing, so now we're all
Is
like
that good? Is
mesmerized.
that good?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks everybody for coming by, and please check in with Mr. Big Will if you can. And I hope you all have a nice weekend. And I might be live streaming tonight with my buddy Jeffrey. We'll see what's going on, and maybe Comic Books NYC if he's around. I've got some fun things to talk about, so hopefully it'll be fun to hang with everybody. Oh, you want to set up a play date? We're gonna worry about play dates later. But thanks everybody for coming by, and have a nice weekend.
Ciao.